society constantly places on the path of my journey? Need I throw all caution to the wind, no matter what the risk, all the cost, spend every ounce of my own self-worth just to realize that most oftentimes I swear I knew I was better off where I was from the start. I swear, boy, I swear this life would be so much goddamn easier if it just simply had cliff notes. But if life was an open book test, I swear most of these motherfuckers would still fail. And that's only because mine simply refused to read them signs. See, they would much rather accept regret than to retrace those very same steps to combat those wars that was originally waged against self, to where there were no victors and it was just only casualties. So casually I just happened to find myself strolling through minefields with my mind filled with thoughts of progression, and I'm stepping to the beat of a nameless tune, and I'm damn sure striving to keep in the melody of a generation that has been apparently lost. Not to time, not to unreconcilable conditions, but just simply and solely to themselves. See, through all of my trials and tribulations, have learned how to place value in those things that enrich my original essence. See, I've learned how to hold most of those things that appear to be unreachable closest to self. I've learned how to pay attention to that big picture without letting that little one pass me by, and I've also learned that all tears are not from sadness. And all laughter just I swear, it might not be due to joy. But the beauty of all this is that I had the chance that some people may never get in this lifetime. I had the chance to meet myself. See, the beauty of it is that I swear I really enjoyed our conversations, but contrary to popular belief, talking to yourself, that shit does not mean that you are crazy. It just means that you care about what you have to say about any given situation. So now facing my own reflections, I now know what I can deal with and what I refuse to deal without. See, there's no doubt that will ever enter my reserved place for peace. And each friendship that does prove to be false in those so-called family unities that are obviously lost can and will exist in the abyss of somebody else's unconditioned self. See, this price of being mentally free has been so finely, duly, as well as justly paid by me, and I still may not be what I want to be. But that's as of yet. Because I swear I'm still so more than willing to bet that I'm so far from anything that anybody could ever remember of me. And that's just because I've taken on my own responsibilities to it. Nobody else. Just sincerely and respectfully and honestly being true to me. Peace.
Y'all make sure y'all come holler at me next week. We're gonna go in, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna do what we do, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a mixture of everything that we got popping off, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, this is our life, you know what I'm saying? Every artist that comes up here, man, you know what I'm saying? They slit their wrists on the stage and they blow their brains out. They die on stage just so you can understand another aspect to be able to see life and prosper from. So respect that, you feel what I'm saying? Love y'all, peace.
Right. Okay, thank you, Knowledge. Moving microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, open mic, and you can't have an open mic without a love poem. Right? Right. So I'm gonna share one with you all. This piece is called The Journey. As I laid in his arms, locked in his embrace, I could feel his breath on my hands as I stroked his face. I slowly ascended to a sacred place that transcended both time and space. My soul began to quiver as his voice poured over me, and my body began to shiver as his words overwhelmed me. His words, like syllables, slammed into one another, and something began to happen to me. In the abyss of his iambic pentameter, my breathing became a cacophony of gasped and broken whispers. Words eluded me and thoughts scattered. But then he spoke me back together, and nothing else really mattered. But now I can't escape this dreadful place. I close my eyes and I still see his face. I touch my lips and I can still taste the memory of that time and place. A landscape that began with the beauty of his face and a pair of eyes into which I could endlessly gaze. Velvet lips upon which I found bliss. My body still craves the pleasure of his kiss, and my fingertips carry the roadmap of his anatomy, and I can still hear him gasping as he spoke to me. And then I came full circle, and it was he who carried me through the final leg of that beautiful journey. And then we descended to a place of rest and a myriad of sensations that words can't express. And he blushed as I told him that he was quite beautiful, and I knew that he thought I was merely speaking on his physical, because far too many things had gone unspoken, and although he was beautiful, he was also quite broken. He claimed that he didn't want to be every woman's token, but sex was his noose and he was still choking. And I realized that he had become my respite, and his space was a place that I craved to inhabit. I need for him to be a safe place, my king, my protector, my light in dark spaces, my partner, my conqueror. Woo! Okay, y'all, so put it together for Be Fine. Again. Little feature.
Okay. This is a sad piece for me. I had my car stolen at the beginning of the year, and while it sucks to have your car stolen, it sucks even worse to have your CD stolen. But even worse when you realize your poetry notebook was in the car, never to get it back again. So I know, I was like sad, like I cried. Like I didn't cry over the car. I was like, oh, my pieces, they was original. I don't know them. They're in the car, they're gone. Okay, so this is a rewrite, which I almost never do. But if it sucks, y'all can't tell me because it'll hurt my feelings. Okay, I'm just saying.
That's not fair.
I'm just saying, I'm being real. Don't tell me because it will hurt.
I'll sign it to you.
You'll sign it? She probably will. She can send me like a Facebook stat. It'll be tagged, that poem sucks. Tag, Be Fine, my post. Don't do that one again. Okay. That's why I don't like her. Like, I love her, but I can't stand her.
Tag on Facebook.
Right?
I will. It's better hey, no.
And she's serious. Okay. Stop! Let me do the piece. Growing up at my mother's knee, she told me that anything worth having was going to make me bleed. She said the blood in my veins was ascendancy's fee. For example, if I really wanted that A in class, I had to sit my ass in a house and study. And if I had to have that $100 pair of jeans, then I had to get a job and make that money. She said, not trying to be funny, but you gonna learn that what you earn is a direct correlation of your personal works, and that shit don't come easy. Actually, life's hard, so you need to realize that the scars you bear are a testimony to the strength you have. She said, good days come and bad days go, and just because they call you a friend doesn't make it so. So know who you are, and at all times be your best self. Don't ever manipulate your greatness for the satisfaction of anyone else. She said raindrops will fall, so I should learn how to dance in the rain. And I should remember that with growth, there will be growing pains, and that giving up isn't an option. It's a cop-out. She said spirituality was actually that little voice inside that told me don't do that ignorant shit. And sin only came about when I chose to ignore it. She said truth is, God is all, and in all honesty has no religion. She said, I could be my own hero, or I could be my own victim. The worst crimes take place in malleable minds, and real strength isn't measured in muscle but in wits. She said, if I wanted it bad enough, I could bleed blood equal to pints, and learn to breathe oxygen free, and learn to release the stress of life when the world seems to be closing in on me. She said, I could lose myself in reflections of mass perceptions of who they thought